Right, so imagine for a moment someone makes a comment about how you raise your kids, okay? Or maybe they question a career move you've made, or maybe they dismiss something you care deeply about. See, within a few seconds, your chest probably tightens or your voice changes, or both happen, and you're no longer having this conversation, but you're actually now at war with them mentally, okay? That is. See, that's not a character flaw. That's your brain going to war for you. And I call it the identity shield. And it doesn't fire because someone disagreed with you. It fires because something about what they said made you feel a little bit small there. I'm Alan Stafford. I help people think clearly in a noisy world, and this is Think Sharper. You see, not all beliefs are the same inside your brain. Your opinion on coffee, well, it's loosely held, I would imagine so. Or someone tells you espresso is overrated. You shrug, no big deal, right? But your beliefs about how you parent, what you do for a living, what you stand for as a person, nope. Those aren't just opinions, they're fused to your identity. And here's where it connects to what we talked about in the last video. I have a link up here for you if you haven't seen it. See, confirmation bias filters out uncomfortable facts, okay? That's the baseline. But when the belief being challenged is fused to your identity, the filter doesn't just block information, it activates a full defense response. That's why you can calmly discuss tax policy with a stranger, but lose your composure when someone questions your parenting. See, the information isn't more threatening, the identity here is at stake. And that's the identity shield at work, the automatic defensive protocol your brain deploys when it perceives a threat not to what you think, but to who you are. So I'm going to show you 3 places this happens to almost everyone, and all 3 feel completely justified in the moment. Let's imagine you're at a dinner party, okay? Someone you haven't seen in a while asks, so, you're still doing that? That's it, 6 words, but the tone hits different with you. See, you weren't insecure about your career 5 minutes ago, but now you're building a closing argument in your head, rehearsing your accomplishments, getting ready to justify your entire life trajectory to someone eating shrimp cocktail. See, the question didn't threaten your logic, it threatened your identity as someone who makes good decisions, okay? And that shield, well, that shield went up. Or maybe this. Let me give you a real example from my own life, okay? I was talking to a friend once, and her kid was running around, outside, full of energy. I mean, this kid was bouncing off the walls, literally. And I made what I thought was a harmless comment. I said something like, hey, wow, she's an active little one. That's it. That's all I said. And I was honestly just comparing her to my daughter, who was, well, a quiet kid growing up. It wasn't a criticism, it was an observation. And my friend, well, she snapped at me and she said something like, are you saying my kid is out of control? Now, see, looking back, I can see how she heard it that way. But that's not what I said. The words weren't threatening, but her identity as a good parent was on the line there. And the shield went up right away before she even finished processing what I actually meant. See, that's how fast this happens. A casual comment, zero intent to criticize, and the person on the other end hears, hey, you're failing at the most important job you've ever had. Because parenting isn't just something you do, it's something you are. Now let's imagine you're having dinner and someone at the table dismisses a political or social position you care deeply about, not with a thoughtful counter-argument, but just a wave of the hand like, hey, that's ridiculous. And something inside you shifts. You don't just disagree, you feel personally attacked because at some point that political belief stopped being an opinion and became part of your identity. Now, disagreement doesn't feel like a conversation, it now feels like you're being erased. See, 3 completely different situations, same pattern underneath. The information wasn't dangerous, the identity stake made it feel dangerous. And every single time the person having the reaction thinks it's about the facts. And it's never about the facts. So the good news is the identity shield announces itself every time. You just have to know what to listen for. So here are 3 signals that just activated. Signal 1 is speed. See, your voice gets faster or louder. You weren't talking like that maybe 30 seconds ago. That's your brain shifting from conversation mode to combat mode. And signal 2 is the preloaded rebuttal. So you start building your counter argument before the other person finishes their sentence. You're not listening anymore at that point. You're actually loading ammunition into your mind. And signal 3 is the mismatch. The emotional intensity of your reaction doesn't match the size of the comment. Someone made a casual observation and you're responding like you're on trial. When your reaction is bigger than the trigger, your identity is on the line, not your logic. All right, so I'm not going to give you a full de-escalation toolkit today. That's not what this video is for. But I will give you one move that changes everything. You see, when you feel the shield activate, the speed, the rebuttal, the mismatch, pause and silently label what's actually being threatened. Not they're wrong, that's the shield talking. Try something like, my identity as a good parent just got challenged, or my identity as someone who makes smart decisions just got challenged. See, that one act, labeling the real threat, moves the processing from your amygdala back to your prefrontal cortex. You're not suppressing the reaction, you're actually redirecting it. And the moment you can name what's actually happening, the shield pretty much drops. Not because the threat disappears, but because you realize it was never a threat in the first place. See, the identity shield is confirmation biased at its most personal. It's the same filter we talked about in the full breakdown video, the one that blocks uncomfortable facts before you can process them. But when identity is involved, well, that filter doesn't just block, it actually fights. So if you want to understand why your brain does that and the full system to catch it, I broke the whole thing down in the Brain Science of the Truth. I've got the link at the very end of this video and or the description. I want to thank you for watching. I'm Alan Stafford. Think sharper, my friend, and stay sovereign.